Two Yorkshire miners have taken out writs against their union to try to force a national strike ballot. They're two face workers at Manton Colliery, Mr. Ken Fulston and Mr. Bob Taylor, who's already complained about the Yorkshire NUM's handling of the strike. In May, he was butted in the head when he protested against suspended union meetings. And police are now mounting a 24-hour guard at the two men's homes. Both miners are married with young children. The first court hearing of the writs will be on Thursday, the day before the NUM Special Delegate Conference. In Sunderland, 39 miners have appeared in court after paint and bricks were thrown at white-collar workers at a coal board stores. In Cumbria, 5 men are being held in custody after an attack on lorries at Maryport. 2 drivers were hurt. And in Doncaster tonight, a crowd stoned the regional coal board headquarters and smashed windows. In Dunfermline, the Longannet miner, Mr. Jim Pearson, got his van into work today after being turned back yesterday. Police and pickets clashed at the pit entrance, and there were 11 arrests. In Wales, the coal board says the 6-year-old better split is deteriorating fast because the NUM won't help with repairs. The board says roadways nearly 5 feet high have collapsed to lower than 18 inches. The union says the NUM first questioned conditions at Betters before the strike.
The Distillers Company, the big whisky men, say they'll close 2 plants and end 715 jobs. The brand names will stay, but the jobs will go to modern plants, while the old ones outside Edinburgh and in Glasgow will close. Distillers shut 13 Highland distilleries last year. When the Chancellor, Mr. Lawson, knew that Britain's money supply was down 1% last month, the CBI's James Clemenson promptly told him today, cut interest rates. Mr. Lawson's men merely told civil servants a pay rise of 4.5% was all they'd get. The unions want 7% and arbitration. And the pound closed down bumpily against the dollar at $1.3055, down over a cent. News that the Gulf War was spreading helped the dollar.
Attacks on international shipping in the Gulf War appear to have spread to the Red Sea. Iran today made it clear it supports the mining of shipping lanes there. At least a dozen ships have been damaged in the last month, and Tehran radio said it was a blow against the scornful and arrogant policies of Washington, Paris and London. Earlier, Iraqi warplanes scored a direct hit on a Liberian tanker which had just left the Iranian oil terminal of Karg Island in the Gulf.
Today's news is complicated in that we're talking about 2 attacks on international shipping almost 1,000 miles apart, and the big worry is that they are probably directly linked. The problem with the mines is in the Red Sea and the approaches to the Suez Canal. In the latest incident, a Liberian-registered tanker was hit by a mine on Sunday. So were at least 12 other ships before it. But there's growing evidence that what's happening in the Red Sea has a great deal to do with what's happening up here, in the Gulf and on the borders between Iran and Iraq. The war between Iran and Iraq has been dragging on now for almost 4 years. Neither side has been able to deliver that final punch to knock out the other. But today, Tehran radio said that Iran rejoiced at the sowing of the Red Sea mines, for which a Muslim extremist organization has claimed the credit, though the Iranian government said it didn't know anything about them. What's the connection? The answer is oil and the tankers that carry it. Once again, both Iran and Iraq have tried to cripple each other's war effort by stopping oil exports, which means hitting tankers. Once again, stalemate. So why not turn to that other vital oil route, the Suez Canal? Today, the canal looked peaceful enough. Ships passed through normally. But any problems here or in the approaches to the canal would especially affect Saudi Arabia, since tankers from their west coast ports make good use of the waterway. And problems for Saudi tankers means problems for the Saudi economy, which is just what Iran wants, because Saudi Arabia bankrolls Iran's sworn enemy, Iraq. The Egyptians have asked for help in clearing the mines, and the Americans have moved in quickly with special helicopters and ships to do the job. As it happens, Britain has 4 ships, similar to HMS Brecon here, which can tackle all kinds of mines, actually in the Mediterranean at the moment. However, government sources say that while Britain is disposed to be helpful, the ships won't go to the area until what they're expected to do becomes clearer.
Inside the new holiday brochures, there's a warning. Next year's holiday may cost 1/5 more than this year's. A report on the cost a lot more next. Plus, a guesstimate on what marriage cost Richard Burton. And waiting for word in the DeLorean trial. That's in a couple of minutes.